Did you hear about the gas station that never closed?" The words hung in the air, heavy with dread, as the flickering neon sign cast an eerie glow over the cracked pavement. It was a place where the mundane met the macabre, where the hum of the pumps masked whispers of the past. In a small town nestled between two mountains, there stood a gas station known as the Last Stop. Locals avoided it after dark, sharing hushed tales of strange occurrences. One night, a weary traveler named Mark pulled in, desperate for fuel. As he stepped out of his car, the wind howled, carrying with it a sense of foreboding. The station was empty, save for a lone attendant who seemed to materialize from the shadows. "Fill her up," the attendant asked, his voice gravelly, eyes glinting like shards of glass. Mark nodded, feeling an inexplicable chill. As the gas flowed, he noticed a series of photographs pinned to the wall behind the counter. Each image depicted a different person, their faces twisted in terror. "What happened to them?" Mark inquired, his voice barely above a whisper. The attendant's ominous smile widened, revealing teeth that seemed too sharp. "They never left," he replied, his tone dripping with malice. Mark's heart raced as he realized the truth. The gas station was a trap, a place where the lost souls of the past lingered. Forever bound to the pumps, he turned to flee, but the door slammed shut, sealing his fate. In another part of the country, a young woman named Sarah found herself stranded at a desolate gas station in the dead of night. The flickering lights cast long shadows, and the air was thick with an unsettling silence. As she waited for help, she noticed a figure lurking near the edge of the lot. It was a man, his face obscured by a hood, watching her with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. "Hey, you need help?" she called out, her voice trembling. The man stepped closer, revealing a twisted grin that sent her heart racing. "I can help you," he said, his voice low and menacing. Panic surged through Sarah as she realized she was not alone. The gas station, once a beacon of hope, had transformed into a nightmare. Just as she turned to escape, the lights flickered and went out, plunging her into darkness. The sound of footsteps echoed around her, growing louder, closer. In a desperate bid for survival, she sprinted toward her car, fumbling for her keys, but the man was faster, his hand gripping her wrist with a vice-like strength. "You can't leave," he hissed, his breath hot against her ear. Meanwhile, in a bustling city, a group of friends decided to stop at a gas station. For snacks during a late-night road trip, laughter filled the air as they joked and teased one another, blissfully unaware of the danger lurking. Just beyond the fluorescent lights as they entered the store, a strange man stood by the counter, his eyes darting nervously. "Can I help you?" the cashier asked. But the man didn't respond. Instead, he reached into his jacket, pulling out a knife. The laughter died instantly, replaced by a suffocating silence. "Give me all the cash," he shouted, his voice trembling with rage. The friends froze, fear coursing through their veins. In that moment, the world outside faded away, and time seemed to stand still. One friend, a quick thinker, grabbed a nearby soda bottle and hurled it at the assailant. The bottle shattered, startling the man and giving them a precious moment to escape. They bolted for the door, adrenaline propelling them forward. Hearts pounding in unison, as they reached their car, they glanced back to see the man still standing there, a look of disbelief etched on his face. They drove away, the gas station shrinking in the rear-view mirror, but the memory of that night would haunt them forever. In a different town, a couple named Jake and Emily pulled into a gas station late one evening, eager to refuel before continuing their journey. The station was eerily quiet, the only sound the soft hum of the pumps. As Jake filled the tank, Emily wandered inside to grab snacks. Inside, the fluorescent lights flickered, casting an unsettling glow over the aisles. She noticed a strange woman standing in the corner, her eyes vacant, staring into space. "Are you okay?" Emily asked, concern creeping into her voice. The woman turned slowly, her face pale and gaunt. "They're coming for you," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Emily's heart raced as she backed away, but the woman stepped closer, her grip tightening around Emily's arm. "You have to leave now," she urged, panic rising in her voice. Just then, Jake entered, sensing the tension. "What's going on?" he asked. But before Emily could respond, the woman let out a blood-curdling scream. In an instant, the lights went out, plunging them into darkness. Jake grabbed Emily's hand, and they bolted for the exit. The woman's screams echoing behind them. As they reached their car, they glanced back to see the woman standing in the doorway, her eyes wide with terror. They drove away, the gas station fading into the night, but the woman's warning lingered in their minds. Finally, in a remote area, a man named Tom found himself at a gas station that seemed to exist outside of time. The air was thick with an unnatural stillness, and the only sound was the distant hum of cicadas. As he filled his tank, he noticed an old rusted sign that read, "No one leaves." Curiosity piqued, Tom stepped inside the store, where the shelves were lined with dusty products that hadn't been touched in years. The cashier, an elderly man with a vacant stare, watched him. With an unsettling intensity, "You shouldn't be here," the man said, his voice raspy. "This place is cursed." Tom laughed it off, dismissing the old man's warning. But as he turned to leave, the door slammed shut, trapping him inside. Panic surged through him as he realized the truth. The gas station was a prison, a place where time stood still, and the outside world was nothing but a distant memory. As he pounded on the door, desperate to escape, the old man's laughter echoed in his ears. "You're one of us now," he taunted, the shadows closing in around Tom. Each of these stories, woven together by the threads of fear and the unknown, remind us that sometimes the most ordinary places can harbor the darkest secrets. The gas station, a mere stop on the road, can become a portal to terror, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs. And as the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, one can't help but wonder what truly lies in wait at the next gas station.